type of reality shows like Rev Run,
Rev Run,
from the Run DMC, who's doing positive things, and they're showing the positive outlook of it. So I mean, I could do the Rev Run type of way, but I couldn't do the Jersey Shore type of way, if that makes sense. So.
And it's funny though that you mentioned that, because as much as we say, you're doing things that you want your mom to do. Excuse me, you're doing things that you wouldn't want your mom to see. Some of these grown women on television are doing things that I know I wouldn't want to see my mother doing.
They have kids.
I mean, these people have children. Like, for instance, and we're going to discuss these ladies later on into the show, more specifically, in better detail. The Real Housewives of Atlanta. I must admit that in the past, I have been a very huge fan of the Real Housewives. Nene Leakes, Sheree Whitfield, Kim Zolciak, Cynthia Bailey, Phaedra Parks. Am I missing anyone? See, there's Nene, Kim, and Kandi Burruss. Kandi Burruss, the former star from R&B group Escape. I've been a very huge fan. As a matter of fact, there was a point in time where I would center my night around watching these ladies go at it. It was fun. It was so much fun. It was funny. It was comedic. It had comedic value to it. And now, for some reason, I just don't find as much time to do it anymore. I know that they're currently in their 4th season, and unfortunately, I just have not taken the time to center my night around viewing them. I guess because maybe I found better things to do with my time. Yeah, possibly. Or I have a life now. I noticed that some of the only times I even take part in watching these reality television shows is if I'm very bored, I have nothing else better to do, or for instance during the summer when I'm not in my studies here at Jacksonville State University, if I'm at my parents' house in Birmingham for the summer, and let's say if I'm off work that day, then it's like, I'm bored. They watch Real Housewives of Atlanta. It's not something that I wake up in the morning with a mind to watch like I do with the news, for instance. Some of the negative effects that have been reported on reality television is, quote, deceptive reality. Reality TV, you all, is not as what people may think it is. There are many times where things can be edited, things can be changed. A scene here, a scene there can be joined to where it looks like it happened at one time, but in fact it really didn't. So that's where the deceptiveness comes in.
Yeah, I just want the point of all these shows, one is to keep your attention, to get your attention. And what do we all like? We like to see mess. We like to see drama. We like to see the fight and the cussing and everything like that. But at the end of the day, you gotta look at what the television companies doing. They have to do things to make money and to keep your attention. So of course they're going to stage certain things to make it seem as though that it's so real when really that's not the case.
Right, it really is not. Another negative trend on reality television that's been reported now is anti-family values. MTV is a reality TV creator. I mean, they are probably the number one as far as reality television production is concerned. They're a reality TV creator and ambassador, and its key demographic audience is preteens to early 20s. And since 1992, the network has aired things such as The Real World, which consists season after season of a group of 20-something-year-old people thrown together to create partying and fighting, passing it off as normal behavior. And many critics have claimed this type of programming promotes, quote, meaningless casual sex, alcohol abuse, and bad language, directly opposing common American family tradition and values. In other words, that being mean and treating each other like crap is okay. They've made that okay. And unfortunately, I think we can see why possibly violence is increasing by the numbers. Not that reality television necessarily has contributed to that. Violence may be just be increasing just because people are just getting crazier anyway. But you can't deny the fact that, maybe if, crime rate wasn't as high as far as nationally speaking. Back in the days when no TV wasn't on unless the entire family was in the room.
Yeah,
if you think about it,
yeah,
kind of, sort of, in a way.
I don't know. I can't concur because I don't think we should blame reality TV on the rise of violence.
Well, I'm not blaming. I'm just.
I mean,
I'm not one of those people who feels that everything needs a blame.
Right. I understand.
You know.
Well, to answer your question, I didn't feel that because of the rise of violence.
Mm-hmm.
Because of does it have an effect? Yes. Oh, yeah. I believe it does.
Mm-hmm.
But solely because of reality TV?
Oh no, not solely.
Okay.
There are many, hundreds of other factors that go into the rise of crime and violence. That's why I say, no, definitely not.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's been around for a good while now. Like you said, Real World's been around for, a long time now. And but then again, you have people, like you were saying, your cousin, how he wanted to be like the Jersey Shore guy. And you got kids out there that are 15, 16, 17 that are going to see that on TV, and everybody talks about it, and they think it's so cool. And a lot of people our age, we look at that and say, I can't believe that person's doing that, while they look at that and saying, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're getting to do that. And so it does contribute some, but not a whole lot, I don't think.
Well, and I mean the positive aspects for your cousin, for example. We're gonna use your cousin today.
All right.
I mean, would you rather him look like somebody from Jersey Shore, or would you rather him look around like somebody who needs to go get employed somewhere? You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
So I mean, I think that's a positive aspect for him. If that.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on where you're at in life.
Get him a girlfriend.
Get him a girlfriend.
Oh yeah. I mean, women love him now.
And another negative effect, speaking of what you all said, that's been reported about reality television is they call this the fame game. The genre of reality television has also created a slew of reality stars, but it seems that there are many celebrities with no real apparent talent, such as Keeping Up with the Kardashians. It has made a whole family appear to be famous without any specific reason.
I mean, they're famous for being famous.
They're famous for being famous.
They are
famous.
They're an empire.
Yeah, they really are.
The family as a whole, I think if you Google their net worth, their family's worth $80 million.
Yeah.
And how long has the show been on the air?
I don't have no idea.
When was the Ray J? That's like 4 years.
Oh, about 4 or 5 years. Ago.
They are famous for being famous.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't their father some type of Olympian champion, and then their stepfather now is
Bruce Jenner? He was the Olympic guy. Their dad was actually some kind of royalty or something. I thought he was a
lawyer, one of OJ's lawyers, right?
Yeah, and then he had something to do where they're originally from.
And now they got all kind of clothing lines, and perfumes and everything. And you know more about
clothes. I mean, it's kind of one of those things. It's sad because Bruce Jenner, I know Bruce Jenner from the show as the father, the guy that doesn't say anything because he's in a room full of estrogen. But he's an Olympic winner. He's an Olympic gold medalist. Why don't they show some of that? Why don't they ever do a follow-up on that? Why is it about the 16-year-old daughter lying to her father and going to Vegas and getting a tattoo? Why is that more important, I guess?
Because that wouldn't keep the viewers. That wouldn't definitely keep the viewers.
To me, being famous doesn't translate into having talent in acting or being a good actor. You can see, all the reality shows we've had, they don't translate when it comes into being a movie star or something. They just kind of fade out, and that's what people gotta keep telling themselves, is that these people are just here today, gone tomorrow.
Yeah.
A lot of them. Well, there's some that do make it big, like the Kardashians, but
even then, their story will soon, eventually, when people get sick of watching them, that soon will eventually die down. And the interesting part is that there are some people who will do anything to get on a reality TV show, to get their own reality TV show. Perfect example. How many of you all remember the 2009 Balloon Boy hoax in Colorado?
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that? Yeah. Let me educate you for just a second, okay? You just listen to it real quick. On October 15th in 2009 in Fort Collins, Colorado, parents Richard and Mayumi Heaney, they allowed a gas balloon filled with helium to float away into the atmosphere. Okay, and they then called 911 and said that their 6-year-old son Falcon was inside this hot air balloon. Now, mind you, this balloon is now miles and miles and miles and miles up in the sky, and it was, I believe, the balloon where his parents reported was 12 to 15 miles away from the Denver International Airport. So as a result, authorities closed down the Denver airport and sent several National Guard helicopters and local police in pursuit of this balloon. Okay, now after the balloon landed, the boy was found not to be inside of the balloon. Authorities then began a manhunt of the entire area, and raising fears that he had fallen from the balloon, because it was reported that an object had detached from the balloon and fallen to the ground. Okay, they thought it was the boy. Well, later on that afternoon, the boy was found to have been hiding in the attic of the house the entire time, not in this said balloon that was flying over the Colorado sky.
Were the parents charged with anything?
Yes, they were.
Okay.
They were, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
On October 18th, Larimer County Sheriff Jim Alderden, he announced that they had come to a conclusion that the incident was in fact a hoax, and that the parents would likely face several felony charges. Richard Heen pleaded guilty on November 13th to the charge of attempting to influence a public servant. And on December 23rd of that same year, Richard Heen was sentenced to 90 days in jail, and Mayumi Heen to 20 days of weekend jail. And Richard Heen was also ordered to pay $36,000 in restitution. And do you know why he had to pay that restitution?
The helicopter.
The helicopters, police, they had to shut down the Denver International Airport. You know how much money that costs to shut down a facility of that nature? And this is just, I'm sure he had to pay a lot more than that eventually, after a while, after they said, you know what, we were affected because of this incident, we were affected because of this incident, we were affected because of this incident. You owe us money too. You owe us money, and you owe us money too. You know, think about it. You know, that, I'm sure that probably wasn't all. And so I think that when I saw that story, and it was later found out that, remember the boy did the interview, I believe it was either Good Morning America, he said, why did you do that? You know, no, he said, what happened? And then the little boy said, something, we did it for the show. Remember that? And
a lot of people don't know they were on Wife Swap.
Yeah, that's what I was.
They were.
They were on Wife Swap before
him and his wife.
Him and his wife.
He played the whole mad scientist. He was trying to. He came off really strange. Him and his wife both, and he was trying to play the whole mad scientist thing, and that's probably, you know, the reason he did that, is trying to be famous and be in reality.
Yeah, unfortunately, it backfired on him completely. Okay. So, but yeah, that was a very unfortunate situation. The fact that they even told their son, they put him through that to do that. I mean, that's why I'm saying, okay, what is it about these reality shows that people are so hung up on? They would do anything, even break the law, potentially, to have one. I don't know that I would put myself in that situation where I would put my freedom or my record, my criminal record in history, just to get a reality show. I'm not sure why it's ever been that serious for anybody.
Well, you think of it this way: people's done a whole lot worse to try to be famous too. So there'll always be those people trying to get that, and you know, compared to some of the other stuff people done, that's not as bad, at least not in my opinion, to some of the other stuff people's done. Well,
I guess that's true. I mean, you know, it could have been worse. You know, a balloon. In essence, that hoax was kind of seen as funny. Like, oh, they were trying to get reality. So they lied to the police and said their son was hanging from a balloon, you know, miles and miles in the air, hovering over an airport. You know, it seemed funny at first, but then after a while, people began to see the seriousness of the situation, and that really wasn't cute. That really wasn't funny. That really could have been a really bad situation. So. It is 32 minutes past the hour here on 91.9 FM, WLJS Jacksonville. You're listening to Late Night with Ed Moore III, reality television in America. When we come back, we're going to discuss some of the different types of reality television shows, as well as some of the secrets of reality TV that you all may not have known. Want to know what those secrets are? Listen up, and we will be right back after this commercial break. It is 32 minutes past the hour.